What do the most successful people in the world have in common with the Son of God? It may sound strange at first, but I want us to reflect together. Think of names like Albert Einstein, Steve Jobs, Stephen Hawking, Ludwig van Beethoven, or even the popular content creator MrBeast. What is it that unites them? An obsession. A passion so intense for what they did that they dedicated every second of their lives to achieving their goals. Einstein spent years formulating theories that no one understood at first, but which revolutionized science. Steve Jobs was obsessed with designing products that would change the way we live our daily lives. Beethoven, despite going deaf, devoted himself entirely to composing music that still inspires us today. And MrBeast, with his obsession with understanding YouTube and creating unique content, has built a digital empire while helping thousands of people. Each of them shared a clear idea: to work tirelessly for something they were passionate about, to the point that it became part of who they were. Now, let's talk about Jesus. He didn't have an obsession, but he did have an unwavering devotion, a holy passion to fulfill the purpose God gave him, to preach the gospel, heal hearts and transform lives. His mission was bigger than himself, and he knew it would cost him his life. But he never wavered, never strayed. Every word he spoke, every step he took, was aligned with that eternal purpose. Can you imagine having such a clear purpose and living with that determination? Jesus not only lived with that devotion, but he left us an example. Today, that same passion he showed is a reminder to us. When you have something you are willing to give your all for, boundaries fade away. But the question I want to ask you is this: what are you passionate enough to dedicate your life to? MrBeast, also known as Jimmy Donaldson, has shared in multiple interviews how his obsession with creating unique content has been key to his success. In particular, he has mentioned that his approach to each video is to treat it as if it is the last one he will ever make, putting all of his energy and emotion into it. This mentality, according to him, not only ensures quality, but constantly drives him to innovate and improve. For example, in a recent interview, he highlighted how he spends hours reviewing every detail, from titles to thumbnails, even using advanced tools to test different versions and maximize his audience's response. In addition, for years, he worked tirelessly, without taking breaks or holidays, because he saw every spare moment as a missed opportunity to create something extraordinary. This obsession is backed by an unwavering passion for telling stories that connect with millions of people. MrBeast has said that what separates him from other creators is not only his creativity, but his willingness to devote an almost insane amount of time and effort to making each video perfect. This level of dedication demonstrates how focused work and absolute devotion can turn a vision into reality. This highlights a universal principle: total commitment to something you love can be the key to achieving success. How do you think you could apply this mindset to your own projects? Over the years, numerous books and success stories have revealed what they consider to be the secret to achieving any goal. Works such as Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich highlight how obsession with a goal is fundamental to success, even devoting an entire chapter to this concept. Similarly, books like The Secret emphasize the importance of intention and constant focus. However, these principles were already present in the Bible long before, expressed through the unwavering devotion and passion of Jesus and other biblical characters. What these books describe as obsession, Jesus manifested as a divine mission, a total commitment to purpose, transforming lives and leaving an eternal example. These principles have been reinterpreted and adapted to our modern contexts, but their origin is deeply rooted in biblical values. Parallelism with Jesus. An unwavering devotion. Jesus had not only a purpose, but a holy obsession, an unwavering passion to fulfill the mission the Father entrusted to him. His life was completely focused on preaching the gospel, healing hearts and offering salvation to humanity, even when he faced constant opposition and danger. A clear example of this devotion is found in John 8 verse 59, when Jesus was teaching in the temple and the religious leaders, enraged by his words, gathered stones to stone him. However, he did not let this danger deter him. He knew that his time on earth was limited, and he had to take every opportunity to carry his message. Then they took up stones to throw at him, but Jesus hid himself and went out of the temple. Another episode that demonstrates his courage and devotion is Luke 4 verses 28 to 30. Here, Jesus preached in the synagogue in Nazareth and, upon challenging them with the truth, was led to the edge of a precipice to be thrown down. But his mission was not over, and they arose and cast him out of the city, and led him to the brow of the hill on which their city was built, that they might throw him down. But he passed through the midst of them and went away. Despite the danger, Jesus continued to appear in public, healing the sick, teaching in the synagogues, and confronting the religious authorities. In Matthew 21 verses 12 to 13, when he cleansed the temple of the money changers and sellers, he showed a passion that was not limited to words, but took action. "My house shall be called a house of prayer, but you have made it a den of thieves." Jesus knew that his mission would culminate in the cross, an act of supreme love. As John 10 verses 17 to 18 expresses it, his life was not taken by force, but offered willingly. "For this reason the Father loves me, because I lay down my life that I may take it again. No one takes it from me, but I lay it down of myself." This unwavering devotion changed human history. His focus on fulfilling God's will, no matter the cost, shows us a model of perseverance, faith, and total surrender. Jesus not only preached the kingdom of God, he lived every moment as a reflection of his eternal purpose, a reflection for your personal purpose. Jesus' example invites us to reflect deeply on our own lives and purposes. If the Son of God, facing rejection, persecution, and even death, remained faithful to his mission, what stops us from pursuing what we have been called to do with the same devotion? Just as Jesus dedicated every moment to fulfilling his purpose, we too are called to discover our mission and live it with an unwavering passion. For some, this may mean dedicating themselves to serving their community, building a business with integrity, or creating something that positively impacts the world, as MrBeast did in the realm of digital content. It is crucial to understand that it is not the obsession itself that brings success, but where we direct that obsession. Jesus channeled his passion towards something eternal, while contemporary figures like MrBeast, Albert Einstein, or Steve Jobs directed it towards goals that impacted their generation. You too can become an agent of change when you dedicate your time, resources, and energy towards something meaningful. All of us have the capacity to achieve what we want, and Jesus is the greatest example of this. His unwavering devotion to his mission, his fervent desire to preach and save, shows us that if we really want to achieve something, we must be constant, disciplined, and positively obsessed with our goal. Only when that desire becomes an unstoppable passion, coupled with discipline and constancy, can we achieve our greatest goals. The key is to never give up and work every day with the same dedication, just as he did. Final reflection. How can you apply this unwavering devotion in your daily life? What dreams, talents, or purposes have you set aside for fear of rejection or failure? True transformation begins when, like Jesus, we decide that nothing will stop us from fulfilling what we were created to do. Remember the words of Galatians 6 verses 9. Let us not grow weary in doing good, for in due season we will reap in due season if we do not give up. How about starting today? Dedicate every action, every moment, and every thought to bringing you one step closer to your purpose. Call to action. MrBeast's example is just one of thousands, perhaps millions, of people who became obsessed with making their dreams come true. Although at first many criticized him and even doubted his ability, his obsession for excellence and focus on his purpose made more noise than the critics. This same story is repeated in other fields. Musicians like Beethoven, scientists like Einstein, and entrepreneurs like Steve Jobs. They all shared a common characteristic. They did not give up until they achieved what they believed they were destined to achieve. Likewise, Jesus faced criticism, rejection, and danger, but his devotion was stronger than any opposition. He knew that his purpose had an eternal impact, and that conviction drove him forward. What about you? What dream, mission, or purpose is in your heart that you have not yet pursued with all your might? You may face criticism or doubt, but if your passion is authentic, you will overcome any obstacle. Pause and ask yourself, what would you do differently today if you knew that your purpose could change lives, including your own? I leave you with this promise from Proverbs 16 verses 3. Commit your works to the Lord, and your purposes will take hold. Start now. It doesn't matter if the results are not immediate. Every step counts. If Jesus didn't stop, and if contemporary figures like MrBeast didn't stop either, you too can become the next success story. Your mission is not just for you. It can inspire and transform the world. Leave in the comments what your biggest dream or project is and how you plan to approach achieving it. This is the time to share, inspire, and find support in this community. You can do it. Thanks for joining me today on Mastery and Faith. If you found this discussion useful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it. Here are 2 videos that will surely interest you. Click on any of them to go deeper into these topics and strengthen your spiritual life. Let's continue searching together for wisdom, peace, and understanding. God bless you and see you next time.